Hi, this is Terry with Taylor Family Farm, and this is the Farmer Johnny Show. I'm here today with our daughter, Abby. She is our brooder queen. She takes care of our baby chicks in the brooders, which is when we get them from the hatchery. They come on a truck. We go and meet them, pick them up from the truck. If you've ever had chicks come in the mail, you know it can be a disaster at times. So we actually meet them from the hatchery truck, pick them up, bring them straight home. So they've only been out of the hatchery for about 12 hours, which is great. It's optimal timing to get them in the brooder. And then we put them in there where Abby has already prepared the brooder. I'm gonna let her talk about that a little bit. And you can do this on any scale. We know families who go and pick up 10 chicks from Tractor Supply, and they bring them home, put them in a little box, and then they get it ready the way Abby does, just on a much smaller scale than what we do. So Abby, go ahead, why don't you tell us what do you do to prepare the days ahead to get the brooder ready?
So basically, the first thing I do is put down calcium, which is a ground up limestone. Put that down to keep the ammonia smell down, and then I put down wood shavings to just absorb the manure. And
what type of wood shavings? Do you know what kind of wood it is?
No, sawmill wood.
It's usually pine. Pine shavings are best. You don't want to use cedar because that can be toxic to the chicks because it has a strong smell, and it also does not break down in compost well. So you want a softer type of wood. You can use oak. It just takes longer to compost, but it's still okay to use. But pine is the best.
And then I put out newspaper or any kind of cardboard that's going to absorb into the brooder, so I don't have to get it back out, with feed on it, just sprinkled on there, so the chicks eat it. The first few hours they're in the brooder, they're going to eat a lot, so they don't need to get a bunch of wood shavings in their crawl, in their stomachs. So we put out a lot of feed on the ground for them to eat like that. And then put the chicks out. We have a nipple water system.
The water travels through pipes into the nipples. When the chicks peck the nipples, the water just drops out, so they're not getting too much, we're not wasting water, and it's very controlled. If you are small scale, of course, you're going to probably use a quart jar water that you get at your local farm store, and you can put some sugar water in there to give them strength, which would be a 1/4 cup of sugar per quart of water. But we don't give ours any sugar water, and they do great. We just use straight up water, and they do fine as long as they got that feed there as soon as you get them, so that they can start gaining strength. So we're trying to duplicate what mama would do if they were under a hen. So mama hen is going to keep them warm and dry, so we have to do that in the brooders as well. So what do you use, Abby, to keep our chicks dry and warm?
Well, we have big heater, and they stay running for the first few days after I get the chicks in the brooder, and they're in insulated reefer trailers, which is like an 18-wheeler semi-trailer. So they're like 40 to 48 feet long, and we put about 1,000 chicks in each one every few weeks, 2 or 3 weeks.
But on a smaller scale, a lot of people just use a heat lamp that you would get at your local farm supply and kind of clamp it on the side of your box or container that the chicks are in. And you can tell when you're watching your new chicks, if they are hovered around that light, that means they're cold, and maybe you need to move the light down closer to them. You don't want it too low because you can catch wood chips on fire.
Fire
can be kind of scary. If they're scattered out and they're trying to stay away from the light, you've got it too close and they're too warm. You want them where they're just kind of peeping around in the little container, big container, whatever you got them in. You can kind of tell by the chicks. They'll let you know if they're warm or hot or cold, all of those things.
Oh, they eat more. They eat more when there's light on them all the time, because it makes them think that it's daylight, so they eat, and so they don't sleep. They do sleep, like tricks their brain into thinking that it's daytime, they should be eating, so they'll grow faster.
Your end goal is to get these babies to be healthy and to grow, so that you can get them on pasture and they start either giving you meat or giving you eggs sooner. Food and water all the time, and keep them warm. 95 degrees I think is for starting out temperature. And then you can lessen that temperature as they start to get little feathers on them. As they get closer to going outside, you want to harden them off. You don't want to keep them too warm, because the nights are going to be cool sometimes when you put them out. So you can start lessening that heat, or raising that light up as as they're about a week old. Raise it up a little bit, and then another week as you're getting them closer to moving out. You want to lower their temperature in the brooder.
Right.
Will help them be ready to go out.